Hey, what's up guys, Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Now before I start today's video, this is your last chance to sign up for the Pillow King tournament. I will link everything down in the description. The prize is half a box or a box of Blazing Vortex. And it's free entry. So if you want to join, link in the description down below to Pillow King's YouTube channel and Discord. So today's profile is going to be for hires. Now I've been wanting to do this deck for a little bit. I've kind of had it sitting in the burner for a while, but the deck is actually like really cool. The deck is more like a deck about slowly building up advantage, because almost all the for hire monsters can special summon, and then when they're certain conditions are met, then you can get some pretty cool effects. This deck is amazing for beginners just because of how simple the mechanics are, how good it really is, and just how cheap the cards are. So without further ado, let's jump right into the deck. Starting things off, I played 3 copies of Raphael, Champion for Hire. So if this card special summon, excavate the top cards of the deck equal to the number for hires you control, then add 1 to your hand. That's really good. Then shuffle the rest back into the deck. When your opponent activates a monster quick effect, you can discard a for hire card. See, they word it as a card for hire. It's really funny, but you can negate the activation. So that's actually really good. Like, almost all the cards in the deck are for hire. And just the fact that you get a decent once per turn negation is just really good. The fact that it's on a 2800 body isn't bad either, so that you can just beat your opponent to death with this card and control. I played 3 copies of Beat Bladesman for hire, so this is probably the most expensive card in the deck at like 50 cents. Like, this card's just insane. It's the searcher for the deck. So if this card's special summoned, but if a monster for hire is special summoned to the field while you control this card, you can add 1 for hire from your deck to your hand. That's really good, because this is an insane searcher for the deck. Really good to get into like your flow or any of your other for hire cards. It does have to be a monster, so you can't search your spells, but it's still amazing the fact that you can just search most of your deck for free, basically. I played 3 copies of a Donpa Marksman for hire. So you can special summon 1 for hire from your hand. Like I said, this deck is literally all about ramping up. So like, you normal summon 1, you use its effect, special summon another, use its effect, when it's special summoned to gain advantage, then you can special summon another from your hand, go into the link 3, and boom. But this card's effect, if it's special summoned, or if a monster for hire is special summon, you can target 1 face-up monster, or 1 face-up card on the field, destroy it. That's actually really good. We don't have any quick effect special summons, so it does kind of hurt, but like, the fact is that you can just disrupt your opponent and just destroy their field with this, especially with decks like Virtual World or like stuff like that, where they have like pretty strong monsters on the field. You can just use this to just pop their field off. I played 3 copies of Flow Messenger for hire, so I'm just gonna ignore the special summon 1 for hire monster. If a monster for hire is special summoned, you can target 1 for hire in the graveyard, special summon in defense mode, but place it on the top of the deck when it leaves the field. So this card actually supplements its own plays, because those are 2 separate effects. So like, let's say you have a monster, you have Flow on the field, you use Flow's effect, special summon like a Beat Bladesman for hire, then you can use Flow's effect to special summon 1 back from the grave. Then you can trigger Beat Bladesman's effect, and you can search. You get a special summon, and you can easily get this back. Then you can use Beat to special summon this from your hand. You get a huge excavate, like 4 to 5 cards, and then you can just easily just get a bunch of cards. That's a lot of advantage gained. And then you can go into the link 3, boom, full combo. I played 3 copies of Helm or Helmsman for hire. So during the main phase, special summon one from the hand, of course. If a for hire is special summoned to the field while you control this card, you can discard 1 card for hire, draw 1 card. So that's just a basic effect. It's a great way of just milling through your hand, and sometimes this deck does brick, but you don't really play enough high levels for this deck to brick often. But this card is just really easy for filtering through your cards. I play 3 copies of Seal Strategist for hire. You can target 1 for hire in the graveyard, add it to your hand. I was thinking about bumping this down to 2 just because of the fact that we have Flow that does this effect way better. But the fact is that this actually sets up plays for you to special summon a little bit more. But it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of good. Like, again, I would bump it down to 2, but I feel like in playtesting this was just the right ratio. I played 2 copies of Recon Scout for hire. Target 1 set card on the field, destroy it. Boom. I played 2 copies of Bravo Fighter for hire. Most decks only play 2 copies of this, but the fact that it can boost your attack is actually really, really good, because this deck doesn't set up a lot of attack damage other than Raphael. So just having this is really good. And then I play 1 copy of Wiz Sage for hire. If this card's special summon, gain 500 life points for each for hire you control. Then you can, instead of monster effects for spells and traps, you can just use this to negate. So if you can set up Raphael and Wiz, you can set up like 2 negations, 1 for monsters, 1 for spells, and that's actually really, really good. So going into the hand traps, I only play Ash Blossom just because it's the most generic hand trap I could think of that works really well this format, on top of the fact that we just didn't have a lot of room for hand traps, and I'm trying to stay in a budget. I played 1 copy of Reasoning. This card's insane for this deck. So your opponent is most likely gonna say something like 4. But the thing is, we only have 2 level 4 monsters. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna plop this down. Your opponent's gonna say something like 4. You're gonna be able to excavate and just get a bunch of them out. And then, reasoning is excavate, then, till you excavate 1 of the same level that can be normal summoned or set. Then send all the excavated to the graveyard, special summon the excavated monster, also send the rest to the graveyard, of course. So this actually sets up a ton of plays. You have cards like Flow that set up graveyard, you have cards like Seal that gain advantage from just sending to the graveyard, and that's really, really good. The fact that you can load up your graveyard like that. I play 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, and 1 copy of Called by the Grave because you don't want to get ashed in this deck. And then I played 1 copy of Upstart because I needed 1 more placeholder. You could put any other budget option in here. I played 3 copies of Mayhem for hire. Target 1 face up for hire in the graveyard, special summon it. Not face up, 1 for hire in the graveyard. That's actually really good. This is a quick effect Monster Reborn, and this is what I was talking about, because like you have cards like Donpa, which can destroy cards on the field. Well, this is how you fulfill those conditions, because you have a quick effect special summon, so your cards will actually gain effects during your opponent's turn, which is really, really good. I played 3 copies of Rookie for hire. This card is actually one of the newer for hire cards. Tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 for hire from your hand or deck whose level is higher or 1 lower from the tributed card. Cannot declare attacks. That's actually really, really good because this deck is all about like level up. I wouldn't say level up, but like it's all about having 1 level higher, and this card is really, really good for the deck. And then I played 3 copies of There Can Only Be One because they're all so like all the for hire cards are different types. Like Raphael is dragon, Beast Warrior, Beast, Winged Beast, Aqua, Beast Warrior. there are a few more beasts, but like the fact that they're all different types is insane. So that way you can set up there can only be one. Your opponent's stuck. They can't do anything. And that's just insane. So that is it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck, I play 3 copies of Flago Justice for Hire. So it cannot be used as link material. This card's link summon, special summon 1 for hire, with different types from 3 different from the 3 different monsters used for this card's link material. That's freaking insane. Like, you get this. You can link off, special summon a bunch of for hires from the deck for free, and then you gain like a crap ton of advantage. Then if this card is if a card you control, your opponent controls, is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can draw 1 card. Then if you control 3 or more monsters for hire with different names, draw 2 additional cards. That's freaking insane. This card gets destroyed, draw 3. This card exists on the field. You get to special summon 3 for hires from the deck. This card is the most insane card I've ever seen. Like, if a deck, like an actually competitive deck had this card, they would be tier 0. Like, just because of how much freaking advantage this card gains. But sadly, for hires is easily disrupted. It can get Nibiru'd, not super easily, but it can get Nibiru'd. It is susceptible to hand traps. So that is the only issue. But this card is just like a god tier, and this deck can turbo it out really, really easily. I played 1 copy of Boral Sword, OTKs, 1 copy of Crusadia Avermax. I actually just loaded the extra deck. You could play anything you wanted in the extra deck. 1 copy of Crusadia Avermax for an unbeatable monster. 1 copy of Appaloosa because negation, because this deck can actually set it up super easily. 1 copy of Access Code for OTKs. 1 copy of Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. These all actually got reprints. 1 copy of IP. Like, seriously, look at how amazing the new art is. Like, wow. Like, the amount of design that they put into it is just crazy. But, like, I really like it. I think I'm going to shell out the money to get that card. 1 copy of Link Kariba, because we do have level 1s. 1 copy of Almirage, because I needed another generic card. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, because we do play enough level 4s. And 1 copy of Tornado Dragon. The entire extra deck can be changed. Other than these, you have to max out on this. This card's insane. You could play Extravagance or stuff like that, but like, the fact is that you want this. This card's insane for the deck. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the deck. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anything you would change about the deck. Would you change up the for hire monster lineup? Because like, there was a bit of variation, and I feel like I left out a few. Would you change up the extra deck? Would you change up the trap lineup? Cut out there can only be 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.